Hi Crystal Balls, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. I hope you all are doing well. So a quick trigger warning, we are going to be talking about Jeffrey Epstein today and everything that he has done. So if that is going to bother you, please take care of yourself and click off this video. I don't want to trigger anybody. This can be a very difficult subject to speak about, so I understand, and I will see you guys on another video. Check out some on my playlist. But we are going to be talking to the life force of Jeffrey Epstein. So some people don't like me calling this channeling, but this is kind of what it is. I'm going to have a conversation with him because I can hear him. I know that sounds crazy, but I can hear him without my cards. He is not dead. He's very much alive, and he is not in the United States. He's somewhere in South America, and he is living up his life. He's still trafficking. He's still, a really bad dude. So the first conversation I had with him very briefly was just to confirm that he was alive, and, everything that happened in the jail was a setup, and, he likes to speak very quickly. So if I stop or if I'm looking confused, just know that he likes to speak very, very quickly because he doesn't want to have a conversation with me. Like, this is something that I'm a higher being. You're a higher being. Trust me, if you're watching this, you're a higher being. We don't mess in this world that he lives in, which is a swamp. Like, I also want to let you know that Jeffrey Epstein is just a raindrop in the ocean. Like, basically, there are plenty of other people like him, if not much worse. So this trafficking problem is not going to end with him. And Giselle Maxwell is not going to end with them. It's going to take a lot more to end it, and I don't think we'll see it in our lifetime. And that is very sad, but it's something that we need to be aware of, and it's something that we need to keep pushing for, a higher vibration, higher efforts, and more people being aware that trafficking is very real, and there are some very dangerous people out there that are celebrities, who are famous, who are presidents, political figures. Like, a lot of people need to worry about this list. And yes, there is a list, but it may not be the list that you're thinking of. It's not like somebody has a list out that says, John Smith this day ordered a 11-year-old boy. I'm not trying to be crass. This is what happens. And I want to speak truthfully. I want to tell people reality, and this is why I have a trigger warning, because I think I'm shadow banned. I know that sounds crazy, but I think I'm shadow banned. So a lot of people, if you can comment on this, let me know that you're getting these in your notifications. A lot of you are not subscribed. About half of you watch, and half of you that watch are not subscribed, so please subscribe. Going back to John Smith here, who's a made-up person who ordered an 11-year-old boy, it's not like there's a list like that. John Smith, Joe Smith, Sam Smith, it's not like that. It's a book of records that holds monetary information, and it's a large black book that it has transactions. And transactions are not in plain English. They do have coded names and coded words. Some of these people who are very famous, they have coded names for, but they definitely partake in Epstein Island and everything that's Epstein and everything that he has done and everything that Maxwell has done. Like, this is a big deal. So a lot of people are asking right now if Donald Trump is on Epstein's list. Absolutely. He is in this book, and he is being protected by his identity because it's not straightforward. It doesn't say Donald Trump, ordered a 15-year-old boy, although it should, because that's what he did. And that is one of the things that he did. But yes, he's in this book. He's all over it. He is good friends with Jeffrey Epstein. I believe he helped get him out of jail and into privacy. I don't believe he's a witness protection or anything like that. I feel like he was taken out of the situation by some very powerful people, meaning they took him out of the situation. They didn't kill him. He's very much alive because this guy has so much on celebrities and priests and, entertainers and politicians, and the list goes on and on. What he's saying right now is very much like, don't look for me. Don't come looking for me. Don't think that you can find me. I don't want to be found. I don't think anything's going to stop him. I feel like he is still in the same business. I feel like he's living in a villa somewhere in South America, and he's having the time of his life because, Jeffrey Epstein's dead. The name, the person is legally dead, but this person who is Jeffrey Epstein is actually alive and very much thriving. I don't think he's going to grow old. Like, he's an older person, but I don't think he's going to grow into elderly years, because I do think someone's going to take him out. I think somebody who is a victim of his that's going to stalk him is going to take him out. And he's fine with that, because he's basically like, nothing's going to stop me. I am a machine. He doesn't even see himself as a person. He sees himself as a machine. And he doesn't feel things like we do. He is definitely a sociopath. He's probably the worst person that I've ever read for. I think he's up there with Hitler. And I know that people are going to find that statement very controversial. But the amount of people that he has ruined lives for are in the millions. And I feel their camp, their camp is, how do I explain this? It's like one entity owning several other entities, like, the Epstein camp, like this. That's the camp here, but there's several umbrellas under here. Each one makes up the fist. So even though this is Epstein's game, this is Epstein's island, let's call it, there's Giselle Maxwell, there's this person, there's this person, there's this person, this person. They're under the umbrella of Epstein's control. So there are other people out there that are more powerful than him that are still going and still doing the same horrible things, but he really is like, you will have to kill me in order for this to stop. And it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going because of this team that they have. But like I said, this team right here is just, it's nothing. It's just one drop in the ocean. There's so many of these people like Epstein, like Maxwell out there that are trafficking young people, babies, the whole gamut. And I just, he's one of the worst people I've ever read. He's worse than Manson, for sure. Um, what does he want us to know? He wants us to know that he got away with it. I almost want to do like na 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 boo boo, like very childish, and like I got away with it. I can come back at any time, but I'm not going to. Like he doesn't want public accolades anymore. Like he doesn't want to rub elbows with celebrities anymore. He wants to deal in low level trafficking for, regular human beings, instead of celebrities. I mean, just keep in mind, and you can look at this fact yourself, but an average human being costs $90. And a lot of people who are average human beings and an average salary can take advantage of that. So keep that in mind, that an average human being is $90. And I learned that through school. I don't have the exact source on that, but look it up yourself. You guys can look things up. That's what Google's for. I don't mean to sound crass. Part of it is once you go down this rabbit hole, you might go down further and find some things that are very disturbing. So just heads up. I can tell you some disturbing things here, but I don't feel like that's my place. On YouTube, at least. On Patreon, I'll tell you all about it, but on YouTube, I won't. I'm kind of rambling here because, again, he talks very fast in order to confuse me. He's very angry. He's a very angry person. But he also has a steely cold side. This steel cold. That he has seen the worst in humanity, but it just goes off in like water off a duck's back. He doesn't care. He has been involved in the worst of the worst that you can possibly imagine. And even some stuff that you can't imagine. And he does not care. He doesn't care who he hurts. He doesn't care who gets hurt in the process. He doesn't care if somebody dies. He doesn't care if babies die. Like, he is the worst of the worst. He's still very much communicating about how he got away with everything and how people in high power helped him, and he thinks it's funny. He thinks it's hilarious that everybody thinks he's dead. He did have a confidant, which was a priest. And this priest knows everything. And the priest is not able to speak out because of confession laws. I don't know if that's true. That's kind of what's happening. What I'm hearing is that at least that's the impression that Epstein has, is this priest that he confided in who knows everything. Everything. Everything has been bound by confession, so nothing can happen to him. I don't know if that's true or not, but this priest is a bad person too, so it's not like, he wants to cover up the stuff he's done. And that's something else that Epstein and Maxwell did, was cover up other people's problems. And I'm not just talking about trafficking, I'm talking about murder. I'm talking about, some pretty horrible things that they were helpers. They helped get things taken care of and cleaned up. They're a full service organization, so to speak. Concierge, that's what I'm hearing. concierge. They saw themselves as somebody very high up there, um, providing a service is what he's trying to explain. I provided a service. The need was there. The need was there. And I just simply took the bull by the horns, and I fulfilled a need that was there. That's how he looks at it. And he manipulated people, of course. He blackmailed people, of course, to get to where he was at. And I think the main question right now is these documents, are they going to be released? Not as long as Trump can help it. And I don't want to piss off your MAGA people, because you scare me. You're a cult. I'm not talking about normal Republicans or normal Democrats. I'm talking about MAGA people that, you worship the ground that he walks on and thinks this guy is an angel or something, or Jesus resurrected, and that's just not true. Trump has a lot to do with this, and he will pay for it. It may not be in this life, but he will pay for it. Just as Jeffrey Epstein, when he dies, he's not going to cross over. He's going to come right back into another life, and he's going to do the same thing over and over and over again. I don't think this is a soul that I've ever seen before this dirty, that I don't think there's anything redeemable about him, that I can say in some life down the road that he's going to do better. As far as I can tell, and as far as what my guides are telling me, this entity known as Jeffrey Epstein is going to reincarnate umpteen times, because he's not going to learn his lessons, and he's going to repeat the same patterns over and over and over again, because he just is that dirty. He's pulling away because he doesn't want anybody else to know anything else about him. I keep hearing green card. I don't know what that's about. That's something that we'll probably find out in a few days, but there's something to do with the green card. It might have to do with Melania, actually, with the legal way that she got here. He just holds so much power over people who are famous, who are celebrities, who are politicians, who are, he holds a lot of power, but his power is meaningless to him. He actually enjoys what he does. And that's the sickest part. As even though he's steely cold, he enjoys making the deals and enjoys engaging in this behavior and helping others find what they're looking for. It's very, very sick. All right. So I'm going to hop off here because this is hard to read and it's sick. Please comment down below if you're seeing this, because I really feel like I'm shadow banned, because other channels like me get hundreds of views and I get maybe 10. And I'm getting new subscribers. Thank you, new subscribers. I'm really happy to see you. Thank you for my past subscribers that are still here. But please let me know. All right, everybody, take a breath. Go do something nice for yourself. Decompress. Protect yourself, because this is a lot to talk about. All right, guys, I will see you later. Remember, every single day is a gift. Use your time wisely, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.